Do y'all know what this is? If you do, then great. If you don't, we finna talk about this in this video.
I'm manifesting.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Intuitive Safe Haven. It's your girl, Rose, and this is the channel where we talk about spirituality, manifestation, tarot, and we do makeup and mindset. And if you are into those topics, please feel free to subscribe. And also, if you don't mind, following some of my social medias. I like to post content on there daily or at least once a week. I don't know, depends on how my week is going. I do work a full-time job. So in today's Makeup and Mindset After Dark, I will be talking about my experiences with an Ouija board or spirit board, whatever you want to call it. But either way, it's a demon board and we're talking about it today. So I got this spirit board probably back in 2019, I guess. Yeah, I think it was around that time. So I ended up buying this spirit board off of eBay. And you know, I did get it and I did pick it in this specific style because, you know, it's got some Egyptian hieroglyphics and, you know, all that good stuff. And so, you know, I thought it was a pretty nice looking board as well. The only thing I was a little bit disappointed in was the fact that it is like really thin and, you know, it looks like Taekwondo students can kind of just hit this and break it. So anyways, yeah, I bought it off of eBay and I did do a review on it. So if you want to see that review, it is in one of these time cards. I'm gonna put it up. Yeah, anyways, we are gonna get into the makeup part and I'm gonna share my experience of the spirit board. Transition. Hi. So, now that we're close and personal, the first thing I'm gonna do before I get into the story is I'm gonna prime with my Benefit Professional primer. And we're just gonna on our face. So now that we are primed, I noticed as well while I was priming that we have a small situation here or a problem. But guess what? We're not the type of people to focus on problems. We're here to find solutions. And the solution to this problem is makeup. So let's get it. So as part of this look, it is also going to be a glam look. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna start off with my eyebrows and my eyeshadow. So yeah. The first thing I'm gonna start off with is the Kiss Fine Precision Eyebrow Pencil. And we're gonna go in the eyebrows. All right, so as you can see, my eyebrows aren't looking that great right now. So I'm gonna take some concealer, one size fits all, I guess in dark 1 neutral, and I am going to tighten those lines up and hopefully it looks like something better than what it does now. Back to my story. Yeah, so after I, you know, watched a couple of YouTube videos and read some stuff on the internet, you know, I got my spirit board and, you know, 2 days later I ended up using it. So it took me about 3 hours of preparation when I first started using, well, it took me about 3 hours of preparation because of the fact that, you know, all the stuff that I read on the internet about, you know, demons and not opening it in your house and all these kind of things, you know. But me, I had no choice because where else am I gonna go to use a spirit board at? Really? Right, so now that we got this blended out in the corners real quick, let me just go in with this darker purple because I feel like doing a smoky eye. So with nowhere else to, you know, use my spirit board at, I just kind of said, fuck it, we gonna do this at the crib. So what I had to do in order to prepare my home, you know, to protect it from any unwanted entities was I had to, well, what I did actually, because I don't think I had to do these things. You know, you don't have to do anything, but I did this as a precaution. So I ended up laying down cascarilla. If y'all don't know what it is, maybe I'll do a video on it, but Google search it. So I laid down cascarilla all around the entrances of my home and the windows, you know, just as an extra measure of precaution. I ended up saging the place. I also ended up lighting white and black candles, you know. It also created an ambiance. As I prepared my home, you know, I kind of ended up doing a spiritual bath as well as another precaution, I guess. And so after I spent probably about 3 to 4 hours preparing myself, you know, I waited till probably about midnight that night so that I can do my thing. Right, so now that we got this blended into the inner corners, I am going to go back in the Sweet Pinks palette, and I'm going to use, let me do it this way. I'm going to use this, and we're going to apply this to the center and kind of fill that in and also give it like a nice little glow. All right, as I spent hours, oh shit, a bug. As I spent hours and hours preparing for my spirit board session, you know, I had a lot of doubts because honestly, this is probably the craziest thing that I've ever did other than having kids. Anyways, after I contemplated it, you know, I sat down in the middle of my living room. Of course, I made sure my kids were not home because I didn't want anything that I was doing to affect them. Obviously, me being a good parent. But, you know, I set everything up in the living room. Like I said, you know, I did all my preparations and whatnot. And so I turn off all the lights. So there's nothing but candlelight in the living room. Let's move on to the next step. Right, so the next step here is we're gonna go back into this again, and I'm gonna use this. And what I'm gonna do is highlight my eyebrows with this. After I dimmed the lights and it was pretty dark, you know, I commenced the calling of the spirits. Well, not really. I kind of just like mentally prepared myself and, you know, put on my brave face. You know, I acted like a real OG up in that living room, you know, with them spirits, you know, period. So now that we've got this on, I'm going to apply eyeliner. I am using my Kat Von D tattoo liner for this process. All right, so now that we're at this point, I did do my lashes and my concealer and foundation off camera. It's the same process that I use every single time in every single video, so I didn't think that was necessary to put in the video. So anyways, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my e.l.f. HD powder and I'm gonna set this concealer underneath my eye. I try not to put an ass ton because, you know, I don't want my face looking dry and cakey, even though I'm probably gonna wash this off anyways, so we're just gonna set that. Set it, yeah, let's set it. Let's set our faces. Yes, the pores are disappearing. Okay, so as I was there in a dark living room, minding my own business with my Ouija board. Actually, no, I wasn't minding my own business. I was looking for that shit. Anyways, as I was there, sitting in my living room, I began to kind of say some shit along the lines of any spirits that want to come along and show themselves and talk to me, you know, some shit like that. Honestly, I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was something along the lines of that. And yeah, I felt like a crazy person talking to myself because, you know, I'm talking to nobody in the middle of my living room while it's dark and it's candlelit. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So next, what I'm going to do is I plan on contouring. So we're gonna take this and contour. Use this one. I'm just gonna contour. Oh my God, y'all see this? My brushes are falling apart, man. Look at this shit. Look at that. You see that? Pathetic. Pathetic. So as I was there in the middle of the living room, minding my business, but not really, I call upon the spirits. And as I call upon the spirits, I felt a presence, okay? And when I opened my eyes, I pretty much just looked around, lost. You know why? Because nothing was happening. I had my hands on the little thing and nothing was happening. So I proceeded to call the spirits again. I am going to take this black here. And the reason we're gonna take this black here is we're gonna start drawing out our skeleton outline. And so I am gonna go in from my cheekbone here where I just contoured. And I'm just gonna draw a line here, dip back into that black, and kind of just connect it back. Okay, now that we got this going on, we are going to dip into the Wet n Wild Fantasy Paint or Fantasy Makers. And yes, this is dirty, don't come for me. All right, so what I want to do is I want to go in with this brush here and create the detail for the teeth. And then after I kind of get that done, I am going to draw the teeth right up to here. So now that we got this going on, I'm gonna put a little bit more detail in it, and I'll do a little bit off of camera so this video isn't like an hour long, and then I'll finish the story. So now that we got this going on, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and this stencil here, and I'm kind of just gonna place it upon the corner of my eye. And I am going to apply some pink eyeshadow to that. So, you know, I'm sitting here in my living room. Let me get back to the story. So I'm sitting in my living room, you know, calling upon the spirits. And, you know, the first time I did it, I didn't really feel anything. I sat there and marinated in that feeling for a little bit. So with that being said, I called them again. And after that, I sat there. And then all of a sudden, I start to feel a tingle in my hand. You know, a little tingle-dingle? Yeah, so my hand started tingling. And then, you know, out of nowhere, you know, the little thing, it starts moving slowly. So I'm gonna take this off. So after I do that, I'm gonna put some blush on. So after the little Ouija thing starts moving, you know, it's moving very slowly. So then, you know, I began to ask it some questions because, you know, they say you're supposed to ask them questions, right? Right. I'm trying to find my beauty blender here. So the first question I asked it was, you know, is there a spirit here? And it kind of didn't really do anything. You know, usually it'll move to like a yes or a no, or it'll start spelling out some shit. It didn't do anything. It was just my hands feeling tingly. So then, you know, to kind of move the process along, because maybe that is a stupid question to ask, you know, I asked if this person was an adult. After we blend our blush out, I am going to, I don't know. Okay, so upon further inspection, I feel like I should add a little bit black to this. So I'm gonna add a little bit black to my eyeshadow and kind of wing it out underneath. Next, I'm gonna put on lipstick. So I asked the spirit if it was an adult, and it said no. So from that point on, I knew that I was dealing with a child spirit, which was totally weird. But okay, so the next question I decided to ask the spirit board was, you know, what is its name? And so I'm sitting there with the little just sitting there, you know, waiting for it to spell its name. And then I get that weird tingle in my hands again. And then it starts spelling out Tim. So the guy's name is Tim. The kid's name is Tim, I guess. I don't know. So after that, you know, the tingling feeling started kind of traveling up to my shoulders and everything. And at that point, that's when I was kind of like, nah, this ain't for me. Like, no. I pretty much said goodbye. And remember, people, you have to say goodbye or else you gonna leave a portal open and then you won't know what the fuck you got going on in your house. Yeah. So I said goodbye, and yeah, that was that, man. I wasn't fucking with that shit anymore that night, you know. And it's crazy too, because I kind of thought that shit was fake at first. Like, I thought that shit was fake at first. And then all of a sudden, you know, you got spirits and shit jumping out at you, you know, trying to take over your home. Not really, but that's how I see it in my head. So let me have this. Yeah, people, be very careful when you're playing with those things, and make sure you feel like you're safe enough to actually be doing that shit, because that's nothing to play with. And if you don't know what you're doing, then you gonna release some shit in your home that you don't want nothing to do with. And yeah. So what I'm doing now is I'm kind of drawing half of the skull part, well, the nose part, right here. And then I'm gonna add some detail to that too. And now I'm gonna add detail to this part, and I'll be right back. Talk it in there, talk it in there. Now we're gonna finish off this look, y'all. All right, y'all, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope I was able to make this shit as easy as can be, but if I didn't, please let me know how I can improve. But yes, this is the finished look, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the story. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will be back with some more makeup mindset after dark. But yeah, If you want to check out my other videos, please do. And if you made it this far, subscribe, please, because it helps your girl out. But other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one.